Hi, today I'm going to give you a crash course on how to create an e-learning course using Adapt Builder 2.0. If you follow this lesson through, you should know enough to build your own basic course from start to finish without any further help. Note that this course won't include assessment. That's going to be handled in another video. So I'm going to start off by showing you what we're trying to build today. It's going to be a course that has a home page or an introductory page with a title, a bit on what you're going to learn with a graphic, a video that we've put here on the subject matter, and once you've taken an introductory page, you click through to the actual course, and you can set up as many modules as you want, but we're going to set up 2, and in the first module we're going to show you how to set up a flip card and a multiple choice question. So that's what we're aiming for today, and we're going to have this navigation. You can see click here to return to module homepage. We're going to show you how to do the navigation as well. So assuming you have Adapt set up somewhere, let's add a new course, and we're going to give it a title. I've actually got a Word document here that is going to give me some of the wording so I don't have to keep on typing. So we're going to give it a title, and we're going to click on Save. There's a couple of extensions that you're going to need for your courses, so we'll click on Manage Extensions. By default, no extensions are added, and every Adapt instance is different, so you may have a slightly different list of extensions. But there are a lot of things here you might need by the time you're finished. There's an assessment extension that helps with multiple choice questions. There's a background selector, so you can change colors on the background. Bookmarking allows people to come back to where they left off. The one that we particularly need is NavLink, so I'm going to add that extension. And Spore, no, we don't need Spore for this. We'll do Trickle. I'll explain how that works later. So I'll add that extension. You might also want Tutor, which helps with some of the multiple choice stuff. So now I've added those extensions. Going back to the menu, I'm going to show you the vanilla theme here. So we're going to pick, using the theme picker, I'm going to choose the vanilla theme, which should come with every Adapt installation. And when I set up my project, it automatically set up the menu editor, and it's ready to get going. So let's create the first page. So we click on Add Page, and we're going to customize this page. So there's a couple ways of editing, but you can click on this little gear icon and click on Edit. And whatever we put at the top of this page is actually going to go at the top of the course name on that introductory page. So I'm going to copy this text over here, Introduction to Building a Course. If you want something to appear at the top of the page where the title is, and I'll show you what that looks like. If you want it to appear, this little title, like it's like a subtitle underneath the title, then you put in body text here. And so I'm going to put in a subtitle that says A Simple Guide to Setting Up Your First Course Using the Vanilla Theme. When you put the body text in, you click on Save. And that's going to give us some of the basic information. Now let's start working on this page. I'm going to double click on this page to edit the page, and you can see that when you set up a new page, it does a couple of things automatically. It has some page metadata at the top that we already filled in, and then underneath that it automatically puts in your first article, and in the article is your first block, and it's waiting for you to add a component. I'm not going to explain too much about blocks and components because it will become obvious as we get working on this. Most of the content that you're going to be adding is through blocks, and each block has components that you put inside it. So let's start off with the article on this page. One thing you have to remember is that each of these levels have their own titles, And if you edit the article by clicking on the little edit button beside the gear icon, you can see there's an article title here, but there's also a display title. We don't want a title on this particular article, so I'm going to click the little X, which clears this. You can also just delete it. Okay, and I'm going to save that. So now, even though it says article title, that's not going to display. I do want a note of welcome at the top of the page. So I'm going to actually put in welcome to our course on Adapt. And you'll see where that comes at the top of the page, but that's basically going to come, you see where this little wording is here, welcome to the course on Adapt. That's basically where that is going to show up. So, next thing we want to do is put in a section on what you will learn along with a picture beside it. So, we need to add a component in this block. We need text on the left and a graphic on the right. So, whenever you want to add a component, Adapt brings up this big list of components, and I'll just quickly go through a couple of these. But this is where you find all your ways of putting text into Adapt. There's the accordion, which is when you click on it, it opens up. When you click again, it closes up a list. You can do assessment results on your test. There is a flip card, which we're going to show you later. There's a graphic, which is simply a picture, but you can add text around it. There's a multiple choice question that you can add. A hot graphic is a graphic that you can click on various areas in the graphic to make things happen. There are different types of question, like a matching question. You can put audio or video in using the media component. There's multiple choice questions. There's a thing called narrative that slides images and text in a little slideshow. And there's simple text. We're going to use simple text. And in this case, we're going to add it to the left-hand side of the screen because we want to put some text on the left and a graphic on the right. So now we want to edit this text component. So I'm just going to double-click in this area and it opens it up. Now in this case, I do want to put a title on this. This is going to be what you will learn. What you will learn. And I have some body text on the what you will learn. So this is what I'm going to put in here. Copy this over. And actually where it says scroll down to watch the video, I'm not going to leave that there. I'm actually going to put that down below in the instruction text, and you'll see that show up a little later. I think that's all we need to do at this point, so I'm going to save that text. Now I'm going to add a graphic on the right-hand side. So I'm going to show you a couple things on this. So we're going to add graphic to the right. There's nothing in there right now, but it's put the ability to add a graphic. So I'm going to double-click on that, bring up the graphic box. If I want a title for the graphic, I would put it here, but I don't. So I'm going to click the little X, and then the display title is going to be blank. And what we need to do is we basically need to select the image that we want to add here. So when you click select image, it goes to the Adapt asset library. And typically at the start, you're probably going to have images and videos on your computer. So let me show you how to get an image from your computer. At the top left, you click on upload asset, upload a new asset. Click on choose file. And I happen to have one here called e-learning that I'm going to use, so I click on open. It's good to type in some keywords and tags that will help you find this picture again later. So type in a couple of keywords, click on upload. You can see it's now part of the asset library. It brings it over here, and to complete this, you click on done over on the top right. Now in this particular instance with graphics, you actually have to choose a small one as well. It doesn't have to be smaller, but if you're doing mobile work a lot and you want to put in a smaller graphic size-wise to make it easier for mobile phone users, you can. we're just going to use the same graphic. So I click on it in the asset library and I click on done. Okay, so that's basically finished there, and let's save that. Now, we've actually got a couple of things here that are done. What you can do throughout the process is you can preview the work that you're going to do. So let's have a look at this page. By clicking on preview, it brings up a tab in your browser and then resets it to whatever the current build is. Now, as you can see, the way that the vanilla template works is that it takes the information from the project page and puts it at the title of the page, and then each page in the project, like we've only created one so far, becomes a block on this page. However, the way I want to set this up is that I want this page that we're creating to be an introduction page, which then clicks through to modules. So what we need to do is force adapt to start not with the project page, but I want it to start with this page that we've just created. So I've got to go back to the builder. And what I'm going to do is go back to the project page and tell it what page I want to start with. So in order to do this, I'm actually going to copy the ID of this page to a clipboard, because I'm going to need the ID. So every page has an ID. I'm going to copy this ID to the clipboard. Then I'm going to go into the project settings. I'm going to scroll down to the start. So I'm going to enable the start controller so that I can control which page is rendered when a course loads. And here's the list of how it's going to start. I'm going to add the start page. I already have the ID copied, so I'm going to right click and choose paste, or you could go Control V. And I'm going to say OK. And now I'm going to save this. And once I've saved it, I'm going to preview and see if the preview has changed what we're seeing. So you see what we've done. We forced adapt to go to this page that we're creating as the first page, which is exactly what we want. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to add the video below. So within the article, we're going to add another block. Within the block, we are going to add a component. And the component in this case is just media. I'm going to add full, which makes it go the full width. So now I have a placeholder for the media. Now in terms of titles, I don't think I want a block title at the top, so I'm going to edit the block and I'm going to delete the title and say save. So here's the media component. I actually don't want a title for the video either, so I'm going to delete the display title. What I do want is I want to add a video. So I'm going to add, this is the list of videos. When you click on add video, it knows to look only for videos. So I'm going to add this particular video. You could upload one if you have one by clicking on upload new asset. I click on done. There's my video waiting to play. The other thing is you want to put on a poster link, because the poster link shows you is what is on the page before you hit play on the video. So if you put nothing there, then it would be blank. So I'm going to add this one that I've already created called click to play. Done. So that's going to be, you'll see that on the page once I show you where the video is. Oh, you have to, sorry, there's one other thing we have to do. We have to set the completion of the video. So what adapt wants you to tell it is whether the video has to be, what is it that sets the video to complete? Is it just playing, or is it only set to complete when it's ended? For now, we're just going to set it to play. So as soon as you click play on the video, adapt is going to think that that video has been completely watched. Okay, so now that we've done that, let's take a quick preview. of how that looks. So previewing on the demo course, it rebuilds the page for us. Now we've got the what you will learn with a graphic, and here's our video, and if I click play, the video should play. Okay, so that's all working the way we want it to. Now, what we're going to do next is we are going to add the page that is going to hold all of the modules. Now it's funny wording, but instead of adding a page, we're actually adding a thing called a submenu. So I'm going to add a submenu, and you'll see that when I click on it, I can add pages to this. They call it a submenu, but really it's a second page in my mind. So you can put your modules underneath this. So this page on the left is the container that's going to hold all the modules. And I'm going to put a title in this. And do I have the title here? Introduction. Okay, I've got a title. And in the body, I just want to tell people that they have to take all the modules in order, so I'm going to copy that into the body of this page, and I'm going to click on Save. Now, let's set up the first module page. So this is going to be module 1, where you have, if you break your course up into 5 pieces, this is going to be the first piece. So we add a page, and we're going to double click or click on this to say edit, and edit the new page. So this is module 1. So what I want this one to say, I want this one to have the module title. So this is going to be module 1. More on components in ADAPT 2.0. And if you want to add an image for that page, you can also put an image with the module, and I'll show you where that shows up. But I'm going to choose, I made this little image called module 1. I click done. I click save. And now I'm going to show you, we can't save and preview this until we've added something into the page. So we're going to do, the first component that I'm going to show you here is the flipcard component, as they call it. So first of all, we want to get rid of the article title because we don't want it to display on the page. So I'm going to edit the article. I'm going to delete the title and save it. Then I don't really want the block title either, so I'm going to edit the block. Oh, it's already deleted there. Display title is deleted. And I am going to add a component. You can choose flipcard. Maybe there isn't a flipcard without audio. It's always with audio. So I'm going to choose flipcard audio, and I'm going to add full. So note that the audio is optional. Even though I've chosen flipcard audio, you don't have to add audio if you don't want to. So I'm going to edit this flipcard. I double click on it to edit it. I'm going to put in a title here that is 2 components that you can use. Okay, the body text, I think I've got some body text here. Here are 2 components that you can use in ADAPT 2.0. Oops. Copy that over. And so now we're going to add the actual flipcards. And actually, I should show you what flipcards look like again quickly. In that original demo, I think I've got it on my other browser actually. Hold on 1 second, I'll just get to it. This is what a flipcard looks like. And we're going to set these up with pictures and the text that goes behind them. Okay, let's go back to Adapt Builder. Now, so we've set up that this is a flip card. I'm going to add these flip one by one by choosing single flip. And now for the flip card, we have to add the items that go with flip card. So first you want to put in the picture that you're going to use. So I've got these under narrative is the first one. And the item title, you can use HTML tagging here for this if you want. Narrative. And I'm going to put this in bold by putting tags for bold. And then I've got some wording that I want to put in the body text to make it look good. And you can select your audio asset here if you want something to play while you view this. And I'm going to click OK. Then I'm going to add a second picture for the accordion. Done. The item title. Is accordion in bold. Did I give any text for this? No, I didn't. So this is the accordion component. Again, you could add audio or not. Click OK. So now we've got two graphics with text that goes behind them. Where it says, is this optional? If you're forcing people to go through a course, you can set this to true if the component does not have to be completed. So by setting it to false, it's telling people that we do want this to be completed. So let's click on Save, and that should be the flip card done. Now let's preview this and see where we're going. And this is going to lead us to need to do a couple of other things, but that's fine. So we preview this. We're on the home page. It shows us the home page. It shows us the video, but there's no navigation here to get to the module page. So what we're going to do now is add navigation to get to the module page so that we can see what we just built. So we're going to go back to edit the first page that we set up. So back to course structure, because on this introduction page we want to put some navigation. So I double click, and I'm going to edit this article. And this is where we get into extensions, because at the bottom of this article I want to put a navigation link. So I click on navigation link. I click true because I want to turn it on. And I want to add a navigation item. And what I want it to say is I want to say click here to go to the module homepage and start the course. So I had that text already set up. So here's the button text. Now the link destination in this case is simply next page. So whenever I click the button, it's going to go to the next page. You could put a custom ID number in there from a specific page if you wanted to. Click OK and click Save. Now let's preview again and see if we can get to our module page. So we preview here. It loads the course, and at the bottom of the page there's now a button that says click here to go to the module homepage and start the course. So I click that, and this is what we just built before. We built the start of module 1, and we're going to click on View. And here is the flip card that we set up, so we can click on each one and see the text that we put in those boxes. Okay, so next I am going to add a multiple choice question to that same module. So I'm going to navigate back to the module over here. I'm going to click on Edit, or I could double click. Actually, sorry, it's not editing we want. We do want to double click because that brings up the page with the blocks. So we're going to click on, so we want to add a block because this is where the multiple choice question is going to be. And within this block, actually we're going to edit the block title. We're going to call this a progress quiz. And this is the kind of thing you can do at the end of each of your modules if you want to. So progress quiz, save. We're going to add a component to this block, and the component is a multiple choice question. We're going to add it full width, and now I'm going to edit this multiple choice question by clicking on edit. And we're going to give it a title of true or false. So we're just going to have a multiple choice question that just has two choices, true or false. So we need some body text here. The body text is effectively the, oh, I didn't write out the body text, so we'll just type it out. So this is basically the true or false question. So adding blocks and components gets easier with practice. So that's a statement. And then the instruction is true or false, question mark. Now, whenever you're doing a multiple choice, you have to actually add the answers. So we're going to add the answers, the potential answers. The first answer could be true. And in this case, it is true. So we're going to choose that this is a true, oops, I spelled true wrong. Choosing true is actually true. Okay? We're going to add the other option, which is false. And false is false. Okay, and just to show you how it works, I'm going to add one more that says other. And actually that is wrong, so I'm going to leave that as false as well. So now we're going to have three choices for the multiple choice question. You can set up a lot of things here with the multiple choices. How many attempts people can have? Do they want the model answer shown or not? Do you want to display feedback, which I'm about to show you? You can show people how many attempts they have left. For assessment, you can show how much the question weight is, etc., etc. And also you can say how many items are selectable. So you could say to people, choose any answers that apply, and you could allow people to select all the answers. Now the feedback below is where you write in the answer. So if people get it correct, you can say, correct, you got it right. And if they don't get it right, the incorrect final answer, you could say incorrect. Please try again, exclamation mark. And that's about all you need to set up a multiple choice question. I'm going to save that. I'm going to preview that so we can see what this new multiple choice question looks like that we just created. It loads it up. So here's our home page. Goes through the video. We click to go through to the module page. We view the module page. There's two components, and here's the progress quiz. True or false? Adding blocks and components gets easier with practice. You can choose your answer. You click submit. And I was right. And I can click on show feedback. Oh, I didn't enable that in the Adapt Builder. But if you enable feedback in the Adapt Builder, it would pop up saying, correct, you have got the question correct. Now, at this point, imagine you've done a bunch of blocks and someone's finished this module. You want them to be able to go back to the module homepage to continue. And we haven't got that navigation in here, so let's go and add that navigation. So, on this, in this article, we have to edit the article in order to add the navigation link at the bottom of the article. So edit, nav link. We want nav link to be true. And we want it to, oh, not the classes. We want to add a navigation link button. We want it to say, click here to return to module homepage. What's the destination? The destination is the parent page in this case, where you can put a custom one in. Click OK, click Save, click Preview. And we'll go back and look at the module, that module page. At the bottom of this page, there should be a link now back to the module homepage, which there is. You click on it, and it takes you back to the module homepage. So if you had module 2 here and module 3 and module 4, they can now move on to the next modules. So what I'm going to do next is show you how to use Trickle. And Trickle is the extension that forces people to do something before they can move on. And what I want them to do is I want to force them to look at both of these flip cards before they move on to the progress quiz. So let's go back to the editing area. And in the article, I want to turn Trickle on. So I edit the article. I go down to extensions. I go enable Trickle true. And I think that's all I need to do at this point. Enable Trickle true. Save. Now I go back to the block because I want them to view this block, which is the flip card, before they move on. So I want this on false. I've set to true. The block and components within it do not have to be completed, so I want it to be completed, so I set it to false. I turn Trickle on, true. And also down at the bottom of this, see this button text, continue? This is the text that's going to pop up once someone has completed the flip card. So let's save that. And let's see if Trickle is working by previewing that page again. So it always goes back to the home page. I click through. I go to the module. Now look, when I'm scrolling down, I can't scroll down past this flip card. It doesn't allow me to. So I have to click on the first one. Still no scrolling. Click on the second one. And now scrolling is enabled. And actually, there should be a little button that pops up that says continue. I'm going to have to fiddle with that to remember how to make that happen. Anyway, so now you've got a progress quiz. You could also set Trickle on this so that you couldn't see this bottom navigation link until they'd finished the progress quiz. And then you can click back and finish it off like that. So I just wanted to show you one thing quickly before I went on, and that is some of the resources that I use to make this video, because I always find it useful when people tell me how they do stuff. So I got a whole bunch of free images at pixabay.com that I use in these courses. Right now I'm using the free screen recorder called APowerSoft. And then what I do is I bring it into the VSDC video editor, which is also free, to export in the size that I want. There's a good free cartoon, but there's a paid version as well at Powtoons. You can create cartoons for your e-learning. Also, there's a good place to create animated videos. It's sort of similar to Powtoons, but not quite so flippant, at Fightable.com. And I use GetPaint.net, which is a great great graphics editor for people that aren't very good at graphics. Anyway, that is that. Thank you very much for listening, and talk to you soon.